Good morning. It is currently 6:38 a.m. on Friday, September 25th, 2015. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Okay, I'm still not quite over whatever this cold or whatever it is. I've got kind of sore throat congestion thing, but I think it's progressing. That's my hope anyway. It's no fun being sick. But at the very least, I think work is going to slow back down to more normal pace, which is good. Yesterday, I watched the first episode of the new Muppets TV show, The Muppets, which is kind of like, the premise of the show is it's sort of like The Office, where it's sort of a pseudo fake documentary. So the Muppets are putting on a TV show, but what we're seeing as this show is like the behind the scenes with all the camera confessionals and stuff like that. I wasn't 100% sure what to think going into it because some of what I had read, some people were not happy with the show being more, more adult, I guess, more dark. And I wasn't 100% sure what to think about that just because the Muppets have always been kind of one of those things that sort of rides that line. Is it for kids or is it for adults? Certainly elements of it could be shown as being for kids. Sesame Street Muppets are certainly for kids. But a lot of the stuff in the Muppets was always kind of targeted at adults, just without necessarily being crude about it. This show is interesting since it's very clear that while, kids might still watch it and laugh at the Muppets themselves because they're kind of silly, but it's very clear that the show is intended for adults. The characters are dealing with adult issues like, dating and breakups and work and all of those things. And I don't know, I kind of like it. The tone is a little bit uneven still. There was, by and large, I thought it was very funny. I'm certainly going to continue watching it. There were a couple of scenes where it got maybe a little too real and it's sucked the energy out a little bit, and so I was a little bit, I think it's those moments that the people who are criticizing it are maybe concerned about, because it's one thing to talk about, Miss Piggy and Kermit broke up, and now Kermit's dating a different pig Muppet, and Miss Piggy says she's totally over it, but then she's also, Miss Piggy, so she's kind of always been a diva sort of thing. And, so that sort of thing can certainly be fertile grounds for a lot of humor, and it is, but then there's also a scene where they kind of reach to find some real pain at the heart of that relationship. And it's strange. It's a strange feeling. Like I'm almost not even sure that I didn't like it. And it wasn't something that made me not want to watch the show or even criticize the direction that they're taking the show in. But it was interesting because it's like I'm not used to that kind of thing from the Muppets. Because on the one hand, like I was saying, a lot of what the Muppets have always been is kind of targeted towards adults, but this was even like part of what's funny about the Muppets is having them interact with the real world but be so silly. And so aspects of having them deal with those real sorts of complicated issues, it's unfamiliar, which could be good, but like I said, a couple of those scenes I think lost some of the energy that the rest of the show had. But this is, of course, still just the first episode, and so I'm interested to see if the tone kind of settles somewhere and how that goes. So on the whole, I really liked it. And with the caveat that there were a couple of spots where I was thinking, I'm not sure they want to go all the way drama with this. And there's some spots where it kind of flirts with that, and I wasn't sure what they're going for exactly. But I think just by virtue of all the characters being Muppets, like there's not anything else like it on TV right now. And I liked it. I felt like some of the voices were a little bit. Actually, I should look it up. I wasn't sure if it was Frank Oz doing his voices. Oh, got Luna with a squeaky toy under the desk. Anyway, I liked the show. I'm going to keep watching it. I will be interested to see if the more dramatic elements continue, or if it's really still only going to be used for kind of a way into comedy and satire. We'll see. But anyway, I hope everybody has a good weekend, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes.